It's time for a little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. A recap of what just happened this past weekend from a betting perspective. And whoo, we got some bad beats to talk about right at the top. In Saturday, college football, let's see. The Florida LSU first half total is 31.5. The Gators get the ball back at inside their own 30 before halftime. Heading into the wind, 24 seconds left in the half. Every coach takes a knee there. Huh? Not Dan Mullen. Couple of completions, a Hail Mary shot, and a Hail Mary touchdown on the final play, 21-13 at halftime. Cashes all the overbets. That was brutal. If you had that under 31.5. How about Georgia? Minus 21, minus 21.5 against Kentucky. They blew them out. Kentucky had no chance in that game. But the Wildcats had one last drive, and they called timeout down 24 with 7 seconds left to punch in the touchdown to only lose by 17. That's a brutal beat. If you had Georgia, and you better believe Stoops knew what the point spread was for Kentucky. Miami minus 20 against Akron. They got a touchdown to spare heading in the fourth. It's 34-7. But one thing you don't want is Red Hawks backups when they're laying minus 20. Zips come through the back door. 2 garbage time touchdowns. They lose by only 13. Miami backers. Tough beat. But all of that doesn't hold a candle to what happened in the NFL yesterday. And it's all one game. I don't think I've ever had this much bad beat to talk about for one game. And you know the game. It was New England and Dallas. First half over-under was 24.5. The Cowboys are minus 2.5. New England's up 14-10. Dallas is 3-1, and they clearly score a touchdown. But the refs don't see it or call it, and somehow you can't. It doesn't get reviewed or overturned or nothing. Then on fourth down, Dak puts the ball over, touchdown. Oh, no, he fumbled at the 1-inch line. Stays under for the first half and cashes all the Patriots backers. If the touchdown goes in, goes over for the first half, and it's all Cowboys money. That's just the first half. Then the full game, the total's 48, bet up to 50.5. It's 21-20 New England ball. After a missed field goal, the Pats need one first down to win and take a knee at 21-20. 2 scores to get this game over the total. Instead, somehow, Mac Jones, who played great all day, threw a pick 6, and the next play, Mac Jones was a 75-yard touchdown, and the 2-point conversion is good, which ended up being brutal for Patriots backers, okay? Of course, the Cowboys have time for the field goal drive, and then instead of New England covering as a dog, the game goes into overtime. And then what happens? Dallas faces an exhausted Patriots defense. They win the toss, and kind of like the Patriots won the toss and scored a touchdown on the opening drive of overtime in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, the 28-3 game. Anyhow, touchdown Dallas. If you had New England plus 3.5, was brutal. If you had under, it was brutal. If you had Cowboys first half, it was brutal. If you had over first half, it was brutal. It was brutal all the way around in that game. As bad as I've ever seen for a single NFL football game. When it comes to bad bets, there weren't that many this weekend. Look, it was not a great result for the house. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Bad bets. They bet North Carolina up -6 to -7 due to Miami quarterback injury. And the backup quarterback, Van Dyke, was fine. And the Tar Heels were lucky to survive with a 3-point win on a +2 turnover margin game. North Carolina, wrong side. That was a bad bet. There was nothing but Nebraska money again. They were bet up to -4.5, -5. What an impressive statistical profile for Nebraska. Minnesota beat them wire to wire. Same story with Northwestern at Rutgers. All Rutgers money. Northwestern won that game wire to wire. All Florida money up to -13 at LSU. The Tigers beat them straight up. Bad bets in the NFL yesterday. The Raiders showed up. The Broncos got bet from -3 to -5. It got beat badly. And the wise guys bet the Giants. That was wrong. But that was about it. When it comes to bad for the books, well, on Saturday, there was a bunch. All right. Cincinnati's trying to build margins. Everybody knows it. The Bearcats got where it's as low as 16 at the open. Close as high as 22.5. They beat UCF by 35. All the money came for Baylor against fraudulent BYU. The markets knew it. The Bears won by 2 touchdowns. All the money came on A&M. Aggies up to -11.5. Won by 3 touchdowns at Missouri. And we had a nice middle in the Alabama-Mississippi State total. Bet up from 57.5 to 59.5, 60. Crimson Tide never stopped scoring, lands 58 right in the middle. That's never good for the house. But that Saturday dwarfed, or Sunday dwarfed what happened to the books. They got beaten up badly yesterday. 2 weeks ago was the worst week of the season for bookmakers in the NFL. And this past day, yesterday, was twice as bad. They lost twice as much, supposedly, as they did the week before. Rough day for the books. Look, all Jags money. The Jags beat pros and Joes. Jags beat the Dolphins in London on the last play. All Colts money, 31-3 against the Texans. All Vikings money. They blew the lead and then they won in overtime against the Panthers. And let's see, my pros versus Joes tweet. I talked about the bets that the Joes were making. They bet the Chiefs and the Rams and the Packers and the Cowboys. They were in all the parlays, and they all won and they all covered. That is a bad day for the house. Let's not forget the win in Cleveland. Total got bet from 54 to 48. Lands 51. There was over money before kickoff. There was under money all week. Lands right in the middle. One last bad result for the books on what was a very bad NFL Sunday for most bookmakers. There you have it, Prez. Bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. Back to you, my friend.